Hi, my name is Young Kim and welcome to the Novel Workshop video. In this video, I will cover some teaching suggestions and give you some pointers on how to execute certain components of the class. As you are watching this video, make sure you have the program guide printed out and in front of you so that you may refer to it if you need further elaboration or further details on whatever it is I'm talking about. Okay. In addition to the class objectives that are listed in the program guide, we really do want our students to develop an appreciation of reading and appreciation of literature. So please keep that in mind as you are conducting the class. And because this class is a novel-based workshop and it is unlike your critical learning, expository, academic passages, you will have a lot more fun with this class. And you can make this class very entertaining for your students. Because the class is based on a novel and because it is based on some classics, you do want to focus on certain elements of the novel and not like IBT test-taking skills or not so much on the reading skills. So you should focus on maybe the plot, maybe the theme, maybe the setting, the character development, or anything that will get the students interested in the novel and to get the students to enjoy literature. Okay? Now a little bit of suggestions on how to go about conducting discussions. Now, because this class is highly dependent on discussions and highly dependent on you as the facilitator, you should try to do a lot of praise for your students. Whenever you do throw out a question to the students, give a lot of praise for their input, give a lot of praise for whatever it is they're saying so that you will build confidence in the students and you will build a comfortable environment so that students will be able to open up and they are more willing to share. And some of the things that will help you to get the students to open up is if you relate different sections of the story to the students. If students can see the relationship of their own experiences in the novel and if they can see how their experiences or the characters' experiences shape out, then it will make the class that much more lively. So please do try to relate things to the students as much as possible. And because some of these novels, of course, are set in a Western environment or in the American context, you may want to do a lot of contextualization for the students. So you may do some sort of, give a parallel example in Korea. Okay, so students can actually understand what is going on in the story. Right? And for certain sections of the novel, you should try to give a more simpler example if applicable. Okay. Right, now the next section that I do want to cover is the organization and summary section. Because this class is also geared to helping them with their writing ability, we do embed certain like summarization and certain writing skills in the class. Now, a little bit about summarization. Remember that there are 3 basic steps to summarization. The first step is elimination, meaning that students should be able to select the important passages or the important sentences that they want to include. Remind the students that it's the major details that they want to include in the passage, in the summary, and not the minor details. So get the students to, or help the students understand how to differentiate between a major detail and a minor detail. The next step after they've done information selection is to basically connect their ideas together. And the way they can connect their ideas together is through transitions. So get the students to use different types of transitions, get the students to understand what the role of the transition is. Okay? And most of these students, if you have taught a CL class, will use the same transitions over and over and over again. Now, students can use transitions like first, second, furthermore, but also get them to understand that they can use different words or phrases to transition into the next idea. Okay, so get them to play around with the different types of transitions, especially for the higher level because they are capable. Now, the third step of summarization is to paraphrase. Basically, for the lower levels, paraphrasing will just mean using 1 or 2 synonyms in the sentence. But for the higher levels, you should try to get the students to use a lot more synonyms and to change the structure of the sentence around. Okay? Remind the students that there are 3 key rules of paraphrasing. The first one is not to add any new meaning. The second one is that the students should not subtract any meaning, and the third rule is that they should not change the meaning of the sentence. Right? So have the students keep all of these rules in mind. Okay, and really get the students to practice their paraphrasing skills. Now, paraphrasing is going to be a bit difficult, so you should give a lot of guidance, and you should be patient with your students. Okay? Now, for class 3, students will participate in a workshop day. Now, the workshop day is devoted to giving a lot of, I guess, fun, interactive exercises and drills and activities for the students to do. So during the workshop day, students will not cover any of the story, but instead they will try to, I guess, review all of the happenings up to a certain point, and they will have either either skits or presentations, or they will play games based on whatever it is that they have covered so far. And the workshop day is supposed to be a more fun class. Okay, of course, every class is supposed to be fun, but the workshop class is supposed to be more fun for the students. During the workshop class, students will do some sort of presentation, and for the presentation, they will be graded. So it is up to you to kind of explain to the students what it is, or explain to the students your expectations of their presentations, because they will be graded based on their presentation, and they will be graded based on their creativity, how they deliver their information and how they organize the information. And there is a grading rubric on the FDP and also in your program guide that you can refer to if you need any details. And in terms of the feedback, you will have to give a lot of positive feedback. Always start off with a positive feedback. And as students are presenting, the other students should also be taking notes of, the other students should be taking note of what the presenting group did well and what they could improve on. Now, for the first few, in the beginning, when you are asking for student feedback, it will be difficult to get, I guess, good constructive feedback from the students, because they may always give like very generic answers like, oh, they did well, or I couldn't hear them, or they need to speak better, or whatnot. So it is your job to help them give a more specific feedback by giving specific feedback yourself. So give a lot of positive feedback, and also maybe point out like 1 or 2 things that the group can improve on for their maybe their next performance or whatnot. And also during the workshop day, you will assign a writing task to the students, and there will also be some additional writing tasks that will be dispersed throughout the class, throughout the throughout the duration of the program. The final class will be devoted to a final project. Now, the final project will be a cumulative output of everything that they have learned, or that they have learned thus far. And so the final project is going to be like a final output. So depending on the level of the students and the book that they cover, they may maybe produce some sort of brochure, they may maybe produce some sort of newspaper or some sort of treasure map, or they may write a book report, or they may do like a book review or whatnot. But the whole purpose of the final project is to help them to understand how the story develops. So they may so they are going to focus on maybe the themes, how the story panned out, if they really enjoyed the story or not. And going back to the discussions and any of the other components, it is important to get the students to be able to, I guess, relate to everything that it is being discussed or that is happening in the story. So as I mentioned before, try to really get the students to really relate to most of the characters and to really get into the role of the character so that it makes class easier. Now, there will be some homework reading that the students will have to do, and as you are aware, most of the students may not do the homework reading because it's homework. But because the class is dependent on the students doing some sort of preview, you should try to end the class with some sort of hook, or maybe give them something that will want them to read the story. Maybe you can just give them a little taste of what's to come, or maybe you can get the students really revved up or excited about what's going to happen to the character or whatnot. So you do want to end the class on a good note so that students will go home and do the homework reading. All right, and as I mentioned before, if you have any questions or if you need any further clarification or elaboration or whatnot, please refer to the program guide. Okay, and you can also refer to your FM or your HI with any other questions. Okay, on one last note, this is a novel workshop class, and because it is a novel, you should have a lot of fun with the class. So please, enjoy reading. I hope you yourself enjoys reading the book, because if you enjoy the novel, then it's going to show in the classroom. All right, so enjoy the class, and please, refer to the program guide for further details, and thank you for watching.